want to get to, because as promised, the grandfather of that missing 2-year-old, Caylee Anthony, is now speaking live. Let's listen.
I don't know anything more than what you guys know at this point. I've asked about it, and I've asked about it. You know, if this person is the person she said it's supposed to have her or whatever like that, I would like to see it. Maybe it's someone that I know. Maybe it's this is a cruel thing to say. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a contact that I might have met somewhere. I can put an end to this stuff just like that if I knew it. So with your guys' help, a little bit of pressure, guys, that way. Help me. Help me with that. That would be help the family, help Caylee.
So it exists then? You've heard it exists, the sketch? Or?
I don't know if one's been done, if they're going to do one. If one has been in place, I don't know yet. You guys know some of the information that I don't even know at this point, because everything is guarded. They don't want to give. They want to give just so much. And
George, maybe I missed it. Were you satisfied with the answers to some of your tough questions this morning?
Yes, I really was. I really was. One of the tough questions I asked her says, "Where's she at, Dad? I wish I could tell you more. I'm telling you everything that I can." That was hard for her. That was hard for her to tell me that. There was no codes or nothing. She didn't give any specific address. She says, "Dad, I've told everyone where I used to take her." What can I say? You believe your child. You put faith in everything, you know. I know I wasn't the best son growing up with my family. I know I held things back for reasons. Maybe I was dating a certain girl at the time. I don't want my family to know about. That's, I guess, a little part of life. Is this the toughest life lesson? You guys know it is. This is the most ultimate type lesson you could ever have in your life is right now. It's the ultimate one.
George, when you still hear people talking, and I'm going to say it now, about the smell of the decomposing body in that car, what do you think? Just completely out there? No credibility to that? Or you've had some time now to digest this?
Well, I'm going to hope I can put this a little bit to rest right here. There are some agencies, or I guess there's even some news media that are doing this experiment. The experiment's got to be done correctly. You need to put some pizza box, a Arm & Hammer container, a laundry detergent container, put it in a bag, a kitchen bag. I'm not sure what the gallon size is, but it's probably no bigger than this, about 18 inches tall. Maybe that's, what is that, 11 gallons or 10 gallons, whatever it is. Put it in your vehicle for 15 days. Don't open the trunk. Don't open it up. Just let it sit there for 15 days. You're going to find that smell and that experiment. You can't just put a pizza box in something and think it's going to react. You need something. You need heat and stuff to activate things. That's all this is coming down to. I can tell you that right now. You need to do the experiment properly for all that to come out with that direct conclusion.
So hard-nosed homicide detectives are wrong.
I think there's always different conclusions to a thing. Everything is always not as exact. That's just my opinion. I'm just letting you guys know about that. So,
what's your plan for Monday with the billboards? Anything new? I know you're trying to get new ones.
Well, we have the mobile billboard right now that Kid Finders Network has put together for us. We also have one that's a little bit smaller. It's probably about half the size of this card that's going to be out Monday, Tuesday, if I understand. We have 17 billboards right now in the state of Florida, from Jacksonville to Gainesville to Boca Raton to Bradenton, Tampa. There's some off of 95 and 75. I'm not sure the exact location for it. I think that's pretty. One's just locally you guys know about. We have other billboards that are coming out. Some people are putting these 36 by 48s. They're doing it on their own. As you can see, we got new T-shirts. I'm not trying to promote these guys. I'm not, believe me. But we're getting new stuff. People are doing stuff on their own, which I think is admirable, from their own house.
There are millions of people watching, and I'm wondering, what can they do to help? What would you say to people watching?
Contact us through the helpfindcaylee.com website that we have. There's information about, we need donations as far as office supplies. Go into my granddaughter's trust fund to help keep these billboards. And all that stuff goes to the helpfindcaylee.com trust. That's for my granddaughter. It's not for my daughter. I'm going to say that again. None of this is for my daughter. It's for my granddaughter. We need to support monetary donations, okay? We need that. We need people to step up with a gift card. We plan on having some more benefits and stuff like that down the road. Someone wants to step up, like motorcycle organizations. Other nonprofit people can reach out to us and say, we'd like to have a benefit for her, for the other missing children. We need stuff donated, whatever it might be. Water for the volunteers that are at the Publix and Sam's Clubs. We all need some help, guys.
George, what did Casey say about Caylee's birthday coming up in 6 days?
Oh, she's crying inside. She's brokenhearted. She wants to be there for that. She says, Dad, I want to be home for her birthday. I don't want to come home 2 or 3 days later. She wants to be home for that.
She thinks she'll be home by then, or?
Yes, she does. She says, Dad, she says, we're going to find her. We're going to get her. And I said, again, that's another question. I said, where is she?
George,
Dad, she's close. Dad, she's close. I'm like,
is your daughter all there mentally?
yeah,
There's no question about it.
No, she's not. My daughter is not one that takes drugs. She's not. She's not anyone just to fly off the handle for any reason but she has compassion. So do I. I have passion too about it. But no, she's okay. She's okay.
Has she seen the People magazine? Has she heard about it?
She just heard about it. Matter of fact, she brought that up to me. She says, Dad, I understand there was an article about Caylee in there. And I said, yeah, Caylee was on the front. I said, so are you? And she said, yeah, that's what I heard. She said, well, someone within the facility, I guess, where she's at, mentioned about some negativity, I guess, in it. And I said, you know, it wasn't what we sat down for 3.5, almost 4 hours in our home with People magazine to go through. It was supposed to be very sensitive, compassionate, and supposed to be told a story to break people's heart, to make them reach out. But no, it's different. But then again, that's life.
George,
that sells the 46 million of those things that they put out. So
you've said the photographs of Caylee appearing to be partying during the time she says she was searching for Caylee were taken a year ago. You said there's proof and that there's someone who's come forward to say that. Can you offer some more about who that person is and what that proof is?
I'm not going to state their name. The Sheriff's Department knows about it. Mr. Baez knows about that. This person did come forward and made a formal statement that the stuff happened prior to all this stuff happening. I'm not going to give you the person's name because then again, that's going to invade their privacy. And we're trying to be sensitive to all of our friends and people that have given us information. I'm not going to have them being followed and being chased like my son was last week. I'm not going to do that to them because I don't want to see them have their life put in jeopardy for being chased or being hounded or being thrown into the mix of this stuff. All this is coming out, guys. It'll come out very soon. And
what's the proof? If you don't have to release their name, what's the proof? Just their word?
Well, their word, their statement that they gave directly to the Sheriff's Department, to Mr. Baez, to the FBI. They're not going to lie because if they do, guess what? They're going to find themselves over here. So.
The fact that it's hard to find, and you're hitting it on the head, time, date stamps on these pictures.
Okay.
If you could, you know what? It's easy for us to toss these pictures around, but there ain't no.
Okay, guys, you guys have been on MySpace. You guys have been on these blogs and blogs and stuff that are out there. People throw photos around all the time. It's unfortunate that sometimes people throw these things thinking they're getting a new friend, and what do these friends do? They turn on them. Or these connections that they have, they turn on them, and stuff gets thrown out there. Well, so-and-so left this for me on such and such day. I can't prove it. I don't know. I don't have that camera. I know one thing, it's very sophisticated how they get information off the camera, off your computer, and all this kind of stuff. It's very, 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 very sophisticated how stuff is done anymore. But I can tell you, the ones of my daughter, this is going to sound crazy, the one that she's standing like this, if you guys were to look and really look at that, you're going to see this. That's when she was expecting our granddaughter, her daughter. That goes back 3 years ago. Come on now. Why? How could she be like that a month ago? I don't think so. So just realize all that stuff, well, I'm sorry, is not the exact time or this time that my granddaughter's been gone. That stuff happened prior to that.
If you could, Mr. Anthony, how was this letter that people were speaking about, that you know Lee, your son, was talking about, how was that progressing? Because that, if I understand correctly, was supposed to be a bridge here to give really more concrete information. What do you know? What did your daughter tell you?
Well, this letter you're talking about, that was given to Mr. Baez. I have not actually seen it. I don't know the content of it myself yet. Hopefully we're going to find out about that very soon.
So she wrote it and she gave it to the lawyer, is what you're telling us?
As far as I know, yeah. She's been passing information. But anything that she writes down, you guys got to realize, there's someone from corrections watching what she's writing, not reading it, but watching what she's writing. Anyone that's in there, they have very sensitive rules and regulations that when you're writing something down, someone's right there watching. Not reading, but watching what you're doing. So there's no privacy here. That's just the way it is. That's the rules and regulations. So I wish I had content. I didn't even know too much about that until like you brought it up. So hopefully I'll get a chance to read it and understand it. And